What's up with it, man? Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment here again with another one. Be sure to hit that like, sub to the channel if you're not a member of the channel, and also hit the notifications too, so that you're able to get each and every one of my videos. Okay, now I'm gonna give my spiel on the Warriors. Okay, and look, I've been real critical of the Warriors for I would say probably the last 2 years. I've been very critical of them. Um, it doesn't it doesn't have anything to do with like one player in particular or anything like that. It's been really bigger than that. It's been really collectively as an organization. Okay. Um, right off the bat, man, the Warriors have been killing this season. Okay. And look, I know you're saying not to hype them up or anything like that. No, I'm not hyping them up, but they're legit. They're playing like a legitimate contender. And listen, this is the reason why, man. This is the reason why. What y'all fail to realize, man, is that they've went through a lot of personnel. They've been in and out of personnel. When we talk about like players coming and going, uh, staff coming and going, they've really been going through a lot of changes and stuff. And so, and then you also got to look at the players that have, they went ahead and they retired or whatnot. I think I already mentioned that, but now the Warriors are actually to some degree starting to get back to where they were. Now another thing is they've been riddled with injuries, and that's expected because listen, over when we talk about the 2010s, I mean you got to think about who was always in the midst. You know what I'm saying? It was the Warriors. It was always the Warriors. I'm talking about the later part of the 2010. It was always either the Warriors or the Cavaliers. And so they've been playing a lot of basketball. They've been playing winning basketball. And the thing about it is, when you're winning that much, there's going to be a lot of teams. Pretty much, the majority of the teams every night are going to give 150% when you top dog at that point in time. Okay. Now we know that Steph Curry is on pace to get the record, and shout out to Two Rock for TV because he had mentioned that in his video. If you haven't subbed to Two Rock for TV, definitely go sub to his channel. He's on pace to get Ray Allen's record. Okay, it's a lot of historic things that's going to be taking place, and one of them is if Steph Curry getting that record. Now, do I think that Steph Curry would like to have that record? Yeah, but I think that Steph Curry, more than anything, would love to have a championship and would love to have a Finals MVP on top of that too. And I think that he's working towards that. Now, look, I've been critical of the fact that Ja Morant last year came in and knocked off the Golden State Warriors, as well as he came in this year and picked up where he left off too in Ja Morant in Memphis. Came in, did his thing, and we know that it's early in the season or whatever. And to people that sit here and say, "Oh yeah, well this team ain't gonna do good, that team's not gonna do good," I could tell you right now that the Warriors are not, they're not going to fail. Not at all. Not unless, something dramatic happens. You know what I'm saying? And knock on wood, because I don't want that to happen. Also, another thing that we have to look at, you throw in Clay, he's going to be set to come back. How's Clay going to look? To those of y'all that don't know, Clay is my favorite player on the Warriors team. I think it's highway robbery that he wasn't at least considered for the NBA 75. But at the same token, we could kind of understand. But then again, I don't, because what Clay Thompson had did during the championship run for the Warriors on the defensive end as well as the offensive end is unprecedented. You know, and I think that a lot of people, they look at you look at Clay Thompson, they look at him as some sort of Robin or something like that. I don't look at Clay Thompson like that. I look at Clay Thompson as a guy who could actually go to another team and be that number one guy. Okay. Now, if you want to criticize him about him dribbling and him crossing up people, stuff like that, that's not his game. He's a catch and shoot type of player. Always has been, always will be. You know, Ray Allen, he evolved into a catch and shoot player. Rip Hamilton, he evolved into a catch and shoot player. Reggie Miller, he was another catch and shoot player, and those guys were number one guys. They were number one options. Well, Rip Hamilton, I would say Rip Hamilton. Rip Hamilton, was sometimes one or two or whatever, but that's debatable. But I think y'all get what I'm saying. Clay Thompson, but the thing about it is that Clay Thompson, he's pretty much guarding the the toughest matchups, or he was him and Draymond Green. And when Livingston and Iguodala, and when Iguodala were there, they were guarding tough matchups too. And that's why like when people talk about Steph Curry, yeah, he's great. Man, he's an absolutely outstanding player. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta think about the uh, level of energy that he exerts. When I talk about Klay Thompson, the level of energy that he exerts on the defensive end, that is not being looked at. Everybody knows that when you look at pick and roll, and you're playing the pick and roll, Steph Curry can't guard the pick and roll like Klay Thompson can. Why? Because for one, Klay Thompson is a little bit bigger, and then also Klay Thompson can cover a lot more ground than what Steph Curry can. And it's not taking anything away from Steph Curry, but it's just like, okay, Steph Curry had to get used to playing with that. Those guys that, when you bring in Wiggins, listen, I'm not, Wiggins is playing pretty damn good this season. But, when he came in, he wasn't on no level of Klay Thompson. Neither was Kelly Oubre, and I like Oubre a lot, but he wasn't on no level of Klay Thompson. He got a whole lot of damn potential to be a whole lot better. But, to say that those guys were on Klay Thompson's level, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And see, A lot of y'all don't want to start talking about the Warriors no more. There's a lot of there was a lot of people that were sick of talking about the Warriors. But to be honest with you, a lot of people miss Dub City. A lot of people miss Dub City. They miss Stephen Clay. They miss Steph Clay, and they miss Draymond. I mean, look at Draymond, and he looks real happy now. And I feel where Draymond's coming from in terms of how the calls are being made, things of that nature. He likes the way the game is being officiated. I totally agree with Draymond Green. You know, I totally agree with him because that's the thing that a lot of people don't get about the Warriors. The Warriors were a physical team too. Everybody acts like they were just this finesse team that did that. Oh, you could just run over and all this other stuff. Were they a high octane uh, hybrid type of team? Yeah, absolutely, they were. But make no mistake about it, the thing that was the separation between them and a lot of the other teams that made them a great team is that they could kill you in so many ways. Now, I know what people are going to ask me. Oh well, the Lakers, they da 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 da, and all this other stuff. Look, we know that the Lakers are not ready for the Warriors right now at this point at this juncture. Okay, for one, the Warriors are much younger now. They have older players on their team, but they're still relatively a young team, younger than the Lakers. But I'm not gonna put the Lakers as beating the Warriors. Not at this time because you got to think about it. You got you got a Lakers team that is over. They're overflow with injuries right now, including the main player in LeBron. Then you got THT out, got Kendrick Nunn out, you got Trevor Ariza out. And then AD starting to have a little bit of problems. Here and there again. But the Warriors, they're healthy, with the exception of Klay Thompson. They're healthy. They're healthy. They're playing good, and more importantly, Steph. I think uh, Steph looks happier, and Steph is starting to say, "Hey, look, with or without Clay, we have to do this." I don't think he's gonna come out and disrespect his backcourt mate, but I know that's in the back of his mind. He's like, "Look, okay, I have to prepare if something happens again." I'll put it to you this way, okay? I'll put it to you like this. What's up with it, Matt Moses? I see you in the building. Let me let you in. If you want to come in, you can come in. Speak your piece and chop it up, do whatever. I'll put it to you like this. If Steph Curry can get a finals MVP, that would be the icing on the cake for him. That would definitely be the icing on the cake for him. Uh, because he'll have on his resume, he'll have a unanimous MVP, um, And then on top of that, he'll have the Finals MVP, and then as well as the championships. He's got the Larry O'Brien. So, but I think what people are they're kind of reluctant to give uh, Steph Curry his props or his just due fully is the fact that he hasn't performed up to expectations of what they feel in the finals. For him getting that MVP trophy, it would be a huge thing, and people want to see that. You know, when you talk about LeBron James, he got a Finals MVP. When you talk about Larry Bird, when you talk about Magic Johnson, shoot, even Kawhi Leonard. When you talk about Giannis, you know, when you talk about all these players that have come and gone, these players have Finals MVPs. You know, and I think that right there would put an icing on the cake for him, for his career. Now, to get back to everything, let me get off of Steph Curry for a second. Let's talk about Andrew Wiggins. You say what you want to say about Andrew Wiggins. I can understand how you feel about him. Him being unmotivated, him coming in with a lot of talent, and him not performing up to the expectations from him coming from Kansas. I'm with you on that. I understand exactly where a lot of people are coming from. But Andrew Wiggins has made it an absolute goal for him to come in and be resilient and bounce back from the season that he had in not only last season, but the previous seasons. Andrew Wiggins is hooping. I like the way Andrew, and that's all people wanted to see. I think him being around this type of environment, him being around a winning environment of all the championships that are sitting up in Oracle, him being around a guy like Steph, a guy like Clay, even Draymond Green, him being around Andre Iguodala, him being around, all those guys that have been there and have done it at the highest order. That is going to change a person's mindset. You got to think about it. Andrew Wiggins has been in a losing situation pretty much from the time he's came in. You know, he went to the, while they showed promise when he was with Minnesota, they didn't go anywhere. They didn't go anywhere. And he got a lot of the criticism, of course. There were some, but Andrew Wiggins has always been a talented player. It's just that his attitude hasn't displayed, okay, hey, look, no matter what, I'm still gonna bounce back. Or if I'm not playing good on the offensive end, at least I could give the outpour on defense. I'm gonna be vocal, man. No matter what, hey, if we lose, look, I gotta come out. I gotta say, look, I'm gonna come out even harder the next game. He'll play good like 1 or 2 games in a row. 1 or 2 games in a row, he'll play good. Then next thing you know, what happens? He's a MIA. But but see, that's changed. That's changed because I think that him being around a player like Steph Curry, him getting to experience what type of pressure that you're going to be under when you're playing in the Oracle, like against John Morant in that situation and stuff like that. That was good for them. And on top of that, you got to think about it too. They were facing a lot of adversity. They were facing a lot of adversity uh, last season as well. The adversity that they were facing was the fact that a lot of those guys were still trying to learn an entirely new system. They were trying to learn how to play with each other. I still am kind of disappointed that Eric Pascal is gone. But look at Utah now. They're I mean they're picking up where they left off, especially in that regular season. Utah got a squad, man. Utah got a squad too, and that's a team that you can't go to sleep on either. I think Donovan Mitchell has something to prove. You know what I'm saying? Especially from last year, as well as Mike Conley, all those other guys, and then Rudy Gobert. I don't think he was pleased with how he performed in the playoff season. I'm looking for them to probably bounce back as well. But yeah, Andrew Wiggins is has been has been playing good. Now let's talk about Draymond Green. Draymond Green, whether you like him or not, Draymond Green has has really been focused this year. Been focused this year. He's moving a lot better. He looks like he took off. It looked like he took off a little bit of weight because I know that's one of the things that Draymond Green was actually trying to do. He was trying to, shed some weight and everything. And another thing that I noticed about Draymond Green that he's starting to mature in a lot of instances. Now I know some people might disagree. He's starting to mature a little bit. He's starting to be that. I think that helped that talk with KD and that sit down with KD was really therapeutic for him. And you see, those guys in the front office, they weren't too happy with what Draymond Green had to say, but they know that Draymond Green is going to speak his mind regardless of what you want to say. And I was on point with what Draymond Green had to say when they were talking about the issue with him and KD, what they had. The media has a way of blowing a lot of shit out of proportion. And look, what Draymond Green and KD and AD and Dwight Howard, what they went through, man, that's G-rated shit compared to what I've seen and what I've heard. A lot of people, listen, if you haven't been like, let's just talk about a mediocre team first. Let's just talk about a regular basketball or football environment. If you haven't been in that type of environment, in a competitive type of environment, you wouldn't understand how some of these guys talk to each other on a normal basis. Like, I'll give you a prime example. if you're playing video games with somebody, man, somebody gonna call you a bitch all the time, or man, shut the fuck up, you stupid ass motherfucker. That's how that's how they talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like on the regular. So you think about that in a regular sense, right? And you think about that like when they just conversating normal. Well, think about when the testosterone and the adrenaline is is through the roof, and the hearts are pumping, and you sweating, and you in a pressure situation and shit like that. That's when all of that stuff is gonna come out, and it's gonna be at a heightened level. Man, when they got into it or whatever, I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. That shit to me, I was like, ah, man, these motherfuckers, they gonna get over it. They gonna get over it. You said in pressure situation or just float around, just not really playing. Nah, well, I'm not gonna go that far. Listen, I would be sitting here and be really, I would be very naive for me to sit here and act like that team don't need Draymond Green. He's gonna stay focused, and you're right when into his head he can do some antics and stuff like that. But honestly, at this stage of his career, I think Draymond Green actually is happy. I mean, you got to think about the stuff that he's accomplished. I mean, he's a champion. He is going to be a future Hall of Famer, whether people want to agree or not. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Then on top of that, like I said, the sit down with Kevin Durant was very important. And see, I give him props because, like I said, it's about growth and maturity. That's just the thing I was talk. I was talk. I, yeah, sorry about that. You said he need to You said he needs to rebound, make a pass to play his role. Their defense need him. Their forward position is iffy. Well, no. Well, no, 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 no. These guys, man, they're starting to get back to a well-oiled machine. And see, when Clay comes back, that's gonna be a determining factor. Believe it or not, Jay Mets, if they can actually go all the way. Listen, if Clay, because it's gonna take a minute for Clay. Listen, you could be bike riding and you could be in practice and doing warming up, but until you actually play in the NBA game for a few games, that's when we really gonna know. So I got faith in Clay Thompson, but Clay Thompson got to at least if Clay Thompson is at least 80%, oh, a lot of teams are in trouble. Plus, I gotta see how Clay moves because we're not. Hey, J Mets, we're not talking about just some old Nick Nat Patty Whack give a dog a bone injury. We're not talking about just some old little injury or something like that, like a little sprained ankle or no. We talking about a knee and we talking about Achilles. You know what I'm saying? Those are major injuries. And yes, I understand technology. Klay Thompson, he's not no spring chicken or nothing, but he ain't all that old either. But he do got a lot of mileage on him, especially from the championship run. So we gotta take that into consideration. And listen, um, I'm not gonna say that he won't ever be the same. I don't want that for Clay to happen. Man, I really don't. Listen, 100% Clay. Oh man, the Warriors. Oh, they got it. And see, this is another thing that really, a lot of people disagree with me on this, and I don't really care. Okay, you can have your opinion. I got mine. All right. James Wiseman is, to me, a very valuable fit for that fucking team. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like James Wiseman got thrown in a situation really, really early, and he played very little basketball, and was thrown in an environment right away to where he had to pick up stuff and be that main. They were expecting him to be that main guy and microwave shit. It just wasn't gonna happen like that. But James Wiseman, man, you haven't even begun to sniff how he is gonna be as a player. James Wiseman has the listen. I can see James Wiseman, like I told people, I could see him being like a right now he kind of reminds you of Bosh just a little bit, and that David Robinson type of game. And I'm not just saying that just because he's left-handed or anything like that, but he really gonna be something. But like I said, man, you got thrown into one of the most difficult offenses to learn, like I mentioned before. You said people forget. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like I said, and it goes back to what I was talking about LeBron James. It goes back to exactly what I was saying about LeBron James. Y'all expect LeBron James to just bounce back from this abdominal strain that he got and just come back like he's Superman and this is his third year in the league. No, he's got a lot of mileage on his body. Clay got a lot of mileage on his body. Steph got a lot of mileage on. You think Steph Curry, knock on wood, is trying to get injured again with all the ankles injuries that he done had? Absolutely not. He's trying to stay as healthy as he can. Now there was a little bit of a scare last season, but still he was able to go ahead and he was able to bounce back and everything. But these guys are not spring chicken. Yeah, Steph Curry, he might look young. He might still look like the babyface assassin and everything. And he's playing tremendous. He played tremendous last season. That's why he was the leading scorer. He eclipsed that from Bradley Beal. And he was actually considered an MVP candidate. But the thing about it is that Um, these guys are not trying to get hurt late in their careers. They're trying to stay as healthy as they can. I listen. If like I said, man, if Clay comes back and he's playing good, I'm gonna give Clay about 20 games, 30 games. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna. Everybody wants to give a person like 2, 3 games and stuff like that. It's just like with the Lakers. Oh man, they expect them to be 10-0. Shit, no, don't happen like that. If they lose to Charlotte tonight, hey, they just lose. I don't think that Charlotte's gonna win. I think that Charlotte is gonna lose because, like I'm telling TJ Boxing and Sports, shout out to him. Go subscribe to his channel. Um, I was telling him that Charlotte, they they're a young team. They had to go through that swing, that East Coast to West Coast swing, and then on top of that, they're going from east to west, and then they're going from they're going up and down. You know what I'm saying? California, traveling through California and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take that into consideration. A lot of people don't take. I think like a lot of people, they just expect you just to bounce back in terms of your body, and don't really understand what a lot of traveling. People don't understand time zone changes. People don't understand jet lag. A lot of y'all motherfuckers, man. A lot of y'all motherfuckers ain't never experienced jet lag. I have. Jet lag is no joke. It's no fucking joke, and I've experienced it all the time. Time zone changes. Like I'm telling you, it does some justice to your body, and you having to play, and then like a lot of people don't understand too. Like when you go and you go play at Denver, people act like when you going to Denver, man, it's so easy to play over there. It's not, man. It's like you could barely breathe. And if you got asthma or cardiovascular problems, things of that nature, it's gonna fuck with you. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Like Jay Metz. Look, I dread it when I went to I went to Washington D.C. to go do a family visit. I live in, but we went like a couple years ago, and look, I hadn't traveled like okay, we traveled because we just got back from California. We went to California, and then we ended up coming back to Texas. Then had to turn right back around, and then we ended up going to the East Coast. Like, and before then, I hadn't been traveling. I hadn't traveled in like at least 1, 2 years. Man, when I got off the plane, I felt all right. But then, dog, like an hour or so later, like I got I started like just feeling really, really messed up, man. Really messed up. I was dizzy. I had some migraines. I mean that jet lag hit me bad, man. Hit me real bad. So you said people forget it wasn't labor. He will be a lot better than Looney, that's for sure. Probably so. And you said Achilles injury is a different animal. Yeah, man. It's no joke, man. But hey, man, I appreciate y'all pulling up, man. Y'all let me know what you think, man. Leave your comments, like this video, share it, subscribe. Also hit the notification too. Till then, man, it's Polo Sports Talking Entertainment, man. I'll get at y'all later.